base on your shank.
Let me see, Rand, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
Got the thread base.
Alright. That's a little bit bigger than an average hook, that's weird.
Which is why I've got
They're tying a big
the
redfish
fake
fly.
Gorilla Grip. What's the fake Regal? It's a Gorilla Grip.
I just got about a dozen around
Alright.
these boxes. Only year after year. Fascinating. How many generations he's served.
Oh, did you?
Where's
Oh, you
that,
put some down for me?
where's that,
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's not the one.
All right, I thought that was yours right
Does
there.
yours still have that fly that we're supposed to bomb?
So we're gonna tie
No.
It's got
the
that
dumbbell
same
eyes
time. Let's see here.
on
Right, well, that's-
on the.
you know how.
We're gonna call this the
lights will change the colors.
bottom of the hook. So we're gonna tie it, and that way, when you throw it in the water, the eyes will keep the hook, your hook point up.
How far from the...
Right up at the eye. You're not tying anything in front of the dumbbell eye. And you're gonna go ahead and put a couple wraps on, and then get some cross wraps on it. You'll notice if you can go one way, it'll make the dumbbell eye twist one way, and if you go back the other way, it'll make it twist back the other way to get some bulk on there. And then you can actually go under the eyes like this to tighten them up. And
Watching on TV. What a world. See it in person and on TV.
You didn't bring your vice gear?
Yeah, I got advice, I don't have a base.
The base?
And then that'd be a good place to put a drop of head cement or super glue.
Would that help?
Will it fit here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
That's
don't
why.
think so, no.
You could even put a half hitch on there
I
so it doesn't go
already-
anywhere. Alright. And then go ahead and bring your thread back to
Doing a lot of reps around that.
maybe right behind the barb. Or right at the barb.
Help keep it on the eye.
That's gonna lock the threads together, so it makes it less likely
Oops.
to rotate.
Alright.
Okay.
Now, you're going to take these grizzly hackle feathers that you have. You're going to want it to be about the length of the hook. And right at the length of the hook, you're going to splay like that. Okay, so length of the hook. And then see how your feather curves. You're going to let it curve outwards and tie it in on one side of the hook. Actually, you can strip some of the stuff off to make it easier to tie in.
I tell you what, that camera thing is a big help.
Good.
It's pretty impressive.
That is a, how long of a, like you move, okay.
He said a hook shank.
The piece of feather that you have sticking out is about the same as the length of the
The whole hook, yeah.
eye to where you're tying it.
So you basically just broke the feather off and let it out?
One
Yeah,
of
well, I'll show you. We're going to do the other side, right? So the same thing. You want it to be about the length of the hook. Right at that point, you're going to pull it back, strip the stem. Nip it so you have a little piece of stem to tie onto. And then they don't have to be exactly the same size because we're going to trim them at the end. You're going to put that on the
So this is a,
side of the hook.
this is called a Merkin crab,
Yes.
and the guy that tied this was
His name was Del Brown, and he originally used Lydia's sparkle yarn.
Okay.
That was the yarn that you said you had.
You know, I can bring it. I don't have the sparkle to it though. I have just regular old carpet pieces that are straight stems. But I wish I'd have brought it because it doesn't look like what's on that flyer that you have. But so this
No,
guy's name
because
is Dale
no,
what?
because this is EP fiber.
So this guy's name is Dale what?
Brown.
And
Del Brown.
Dale Brown. So does that imply that this guy visited strip clubs?
I don't know what it implies.
When you said it, somebody's wife did like the name, and
I mean, I don't frequent strip clubs, but I know what a Merkin is.
well, you're very, very.
I'd heard that and I was like, there's no way that's what it
It's
means,
like a
right?
Victorian era thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and then, like I said, in modern times, some strip clubs do require them to wear those, and that's what
Wow.
they're called.
I'll be done. Learn something every day.
So now, you can go ahead and take a couple of strands of that flash blue that you got, and I would fold them in half.
Which one is that? I got two different types. I got one.
Use
that's
both?
All of
squiggly
it.
one.
I just use all of it.
Just
I would
kinda
fold,
make it into a
fold,
big cement
fold
line.
2 strands as much as you can
Kind of a
together,
ball.
so you have like 3 or 4 ends coming out the back, and tie that out to hang a little bit past the feathers. Oh, that's horrible.
So, how many do you have hanging past the feathers, Sidney?
Now, what are we taking
About 4.
for this?
Yeah, the flash, like the gold colored.
The Flashaboo.
Kind of takes, if there's like 2 strands, just kind of like double it over to kind of make it, because we don't need a long piece, you just want like an inch long tail or so. So if you kind of double it over on itself to get more strands out of
Oh, you know,
than what you got.
maybe I'll give these out now that y'all ain't up.
The instructions.
Well, I don't like y'all to get too far ahead of yourselves. If I give them out too early, I'll lose y'all.
Would be nice.
So just double it?
Double it or quadruple it. I mean, however many times you can fold it over before it gets too short.
it's going to stick out the back between the 2 feathers.
Hey Sid, gave me an extra one.
Oh, you had one? Did you want one?
Yeah, well, I mean, there were 2 that's in that last.
Did you draw this?
Wow.
Yeah.
So it only takes 2 strands?
Because you can make it do it look like whatever you want.
Well, you had folded it in half, the 2 in half, so you had 4 pieces.
But if you got a bunch of pieces, you can just do whatever you need. You just get a few pieces to come out the
Try
back.
and fold it in half again and get 8
Okay.
pieces.
Now, take your bundle of fiber like this,
Yeah.
cut it into 5 equal pieces. Or essentially, these pieces are going to be about this long, about 1.5 inches.
A little lower for the camera.
And pile them all together, or just
There you
leave them
go.
as separate bundles?
Separate bundles, because you're essentially going to tie them. It's as if each of these is an individual carpet fiber,
Okay.
like when you had the piece of yarn and tied it on. Because you can actually use yarn, and in some ways the yarn is a little bit easier to tie on because it's because it's stranded together, and then you just tease it out afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the EP fiber
It's supposed to fall apart.
wants to kind of get in the way the whole time, and that's why we're gonna put the legs on a little bit differently than David does it, because I think it's a little bit easier to do it the other way.
Shooting for 5 segments.
Yep, shoot for 5 segments if you can, and we'll give out some more fiber if we have to.
We're gonna make an 8-legged crab.
Well, this is not legs. Yeah, well, first of all, 4 legs, 8 legs, and then 2 claws is the 10 limbs that a decapod has. So I already had this conversation with somebody.
Yeah, I like it to be
It's
accurate.
anatomically correct.
Taking this.
Anatomically correct, unlike a real Merkin.
Now we're gonna take you're gonna take that and you're gonna cut it. You know, this was more than one, right? You're gonna cut it into about 5 equal pieces. Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know where the camera is, so when I'm showing y'all stuff.
It's right in front of me.
Yeah,
There's
but,
a wider
right, but
view
it's
for
like
the whole
a,
thing.
yeah.
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 So, and then you're gonna take one of those pieces. You got your thread all the way at the back of the hook, by the end. You'll split it with the little thing like this, and sit it on the top of the hook.
Do we need to flip it over first?
No,
Okay.
that's the other thing that you don't have to do.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily make sense to do.
Gotcha.
So we're tying it onto the top of the.
Yep. Well, technically the bottom, but yes. Or what I'm calling the bottom at this time. And you can put one little wrap on it and then kind of position it back. And then just put a couple of cross wraps on it. Doesn't need tons of them.
You just haven't tried.
I know, well, you'd be proud of me when I tied that pleasure
All right.
many years ago.
And then, essentially what we're going to do
And it was a dumbbell out.
is we're going to, once you get that tied on with a couple cross wraps, you're going to do the same thing to the next one. So when you do that little thing where you pull, you want to come up on the back side, and that'll hold the fiber on. See, like that? And then you're just going to
See what we can do.
put a wrap on there, and then cross wrap that one as well.
So you're working your way to the front.
That's correct.
All right, Joe.
And we're essentially going to cover the hook.
Try and get them as close to each other as possible, or I mean,
Yeah,
It's
I
hard to
mean,
get 'em right
you don't
next
want to
to
get
each
them.
other.
Well, the thing is, once you
You-
put that first couple wraps on, if you don't tighten it up, you
Yeah.
can watch that. You can actually
You can move
move them closer together.
yeah. Oh, okay. You can push them back. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then get yourself a little wrap in between them, and then pull them back and put a couple of tight wraps so they don't go anywhere. And then same thing, we're gonna work our way up the hook.
Go with a permit or
Take a bunch,
something.
split it on the thread,
Florida.
let the thread hold it on the hook,
Enjoy catching
just
flies.
like that,
Pop nose. And they go off surf fishing.
and then puts a couple cross wraps on it.
Out on the flats in Florida Keys.
And if it's not centered on the hook, you can
Pull it.
try to pull it all together so that it's
Are you
all
on
the same.
2
way.
clumps or 3 clumps right now?
I'm at 3, but because just work forward all the way to the front of to the eye of your
So
hook.
we're not putting the legs in. that's
No,
what
we're gonna tie the legs in afterwards. It's a little bit easier, I think, because, well, especially with the yarn, it's easy to do the legs, to tie the legs in during. But with the EP fiber, all this stuff is kind of in the way. And then also, the time that you're most likely to cut those legs is during that final trim. So actually,
Now, are you
We're gonna-
tying that in the middle?
I'm tying in the middle. Okay, like, so watch. Take this, right? So that's the middle. I'm going to go on the opposite side of the vise. I'm going to hit that on the middle just like that, right? So it's hanging in the middle. And then that'll hold it right on top of the hook there, right in the middle. And put a couple wraps on it. Try to keep them separated.
So you're separating each clump?
Yeah, so that you can tie them down, but I mean, then I'm pushing them close together, almost like stacking hair.
So when you get through, you're pretty close to the front. You can have a little space there.
No, we probably need some more fiber. we're
How
gonna
do
you're
you
gonna
get 'em-
you're gonna tie it all up right onto the barbell eye.
How do you get them turned?
They-
Mine wants to run down the,
Well, if it wants to run down, then if it wants to run that way, right? So if the hook's here and it wants to run that way, then put some wraps on this side of it to pull it back. Also, you can, just like stacking hair, you can kind of use your fingers and push it back and kind of straighten it out and kind of play with it a little bit. And it won't be this long in the end. It'll be much shorter. And like I said, we're probably going to have to give out some more fiber, but we were running short, so I wanted to make sure that we,
My Merkin's run out of hair.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Stacked it in too thick.
It's still partially.
Like these don't have to be like super tight. Like the first three, you know, you can, as long as you kind of want to keep them in the same like spot, and then you can tighten it up after. But yeah, you don't have to like fight with it every wrap. You kind of just want to get it held on there. And you can put some tight ones like you can hold it back and put like 3 tight ones just around the shank,
Okay.
and that'll kind of lock everything down for you a little bit too. It's like pull tight now, and then they're like 3 or 4 tight, and you can kind of go back up against that a little bit too. And hold it. Yeah, like that. There you go.
And then do another one?
Yeah, and then just keep moving, do that same thing, yeah. And you can put some glue on there when you're done, and it won't come out.
yeah, and then it won't be going anywhere. Yeah, it looks like we're definitely gonna need some more.
I could probably squeeze 3 more pieces in one at least.
How long of a hook did you get?
No, I mean I'm right.
I
in the
don't
same,
pack mine in tight.
But see,
I mean,
I'm
I
right
can
in
not
the
get it. I can't get them
I'm
that
right
close
in the
together.
same. Like I said, you kind of can, when you how you stack deer
Yeah,
there.
just shove it back. Yeah.
You need this when you're done? I don't need any more. I think I got mine spaced out good enough, huh?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I just need one more.
I'm guessing we're gonna trim this, right?
Depends on how hairy you like your Merkin. You walked into that one. Man.
A hairy crab.
Well, I'm not finding the crab element here, but there's got
It's
something else.
flat and wide.
Flat, and it's got claws and legs.
We haven't got the claws yet, right?
No, the claws are on it.
Where are the claws, Sydney?
The grizzly hackle. I explained that to you.
You can
These
fit
two
some-
little, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Funky looking claws.
The
but that's
epiphany.
all
Well, I'll show you, and we're gonna make them look more like claws in the end.
right. Oh, you even cut the tip off.
Yeah, there you go.
The more important thing is to have 8 legs on it.
Decapod. Or that'd be an octopod.
No, and
Oh,
2
wait.
claws.
Oh, okay.
Keep forgetting the 2
Okay,
claws.
so now that you tell me this is supposed to be the body of the crab, that tells me how it needs to be shaped.
As he just jumps ahead, but as he just jumps ahead and wants to know why I don't know what he was doing.
Is that a last step?
Well, I was going to show you how to properly shape it, but
Well,
you're.
I asked that question. You should have said something when I asked you the first time. I said, am I supposed to trim it? You said, well.
Eventually,
should
I
have
said
we'll get to
eventually.
that.
I said I did say something along those
No, you
lines.
didn't.
You're hanging out with Dugan too much.
Oh, there you go. Blame it on David. That's how.
That's right. I had to be responsible.
That's some kind of Dugan question.
Feeding all this stuff to them.
All right, I'll stop. Okay, I'm gonna wait until you
Ask
so you
them
tell me
this,
what the
ask
next
them
step
that.
is. How's that sound?
I'll
Still
believe
looks
it
pretty-
when I see
Still
it.
looks pretty good though.
Lots of
Cindy
crabs.
Cindy knows
There's
what he's
lots
talking
of,
about.
lots of crabs out there.
Cindy knows some stuff. He's
Some
probably-
of them are
he's not.
sexier than others.
I'm about to say, in this case, I'm pretty certain, Randy.
Oh, yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
The video's gonna get flagged for content.
So the fibers that are you talking about that are an alternative to these, do they have a stem down the middle?
What do you mean?
The wool fibers that you were talking
They're
about.
not. There's no stem, but it's woven together more.
It's like this. It's like yarn.
Yarn, yeah.
So you
Right,
can
so
tie
in other
it
words,
in when it's still
you just
woven.
tie it in as a yarn,
you, like,
right?
unweave it.
And then you just tease it out.
Yeah.
Okay, the one I had bought from, I don't know, must have been 10, 15 years ago, we were tying a crab, were little bitty 2-inch long stems, and it looked like they might have been what Cindy called the carpet fiber stems.
Yeah.
Would those work?
Yeah, that's what I'm, yeah, that's,
I mean, they're not long, they're not
EP
long.
fiber is not typically what, the original was not made with EP fiber. It was made with Miss Lydia's sparkle yarn.
Mm-hmm.
So,
David, have you
These
fished
look
this?
nice.
Have you fished this?
well, to be honest with you, I mean,
I've
I have.
I've fished
Depending on-
similar ones, never the
Caught?
with
Oh,
the.
Redfish?
On big ones, and I've caught bonefish on little ones.
Yeah.
any permit?
No, I've never
Bonefish sounds like Florida.
Yes, well, do they have bonefish in
They
Florida?
never caught
Yeah.
a bonefish in
Keys.
Louisiana marsh.
Okay,
so
but yeah,
I'm
but
guessing
yeah,
that's
You gotta
in
be in the
Florida.
Keys.
Yeah,
Or
I was
like
about to say, yeah, I was about to say not.
And I wouldn't catch a
sometimes
permit.
near Miami, they're starting to see them back again.
Okay, I was about to
I
say.
bought a permit once,
You did buy a permit?
yeah,
Speaking of permit,
permit to go fishing.
speaking of permit, you know that new rule where you got, for your drop lines and yo-yos, your catfish, you gotta put your license number in there?
Yeah, with yours on there?
But that makes it difficult for those who do the 1 year thing, cause that means they gotta redo their tags every year. If they put they change their license number. If you have a lifetime license, it's the same number.
Fishing license or driver's license?
Fishing. The Dugan printed the wildlife and fisheries regs that said you need name, address, phone number, and license number. And Jack had a hissy fit with that, and a lot of other people didn't care for it either, so Murray called wildlife and fisheries and said, nah, you just need your license number.
Well, I hate to tell you, it wouldn't matter what happened. Jack might have had a hissy fit.
Well, we know that, but he still had a legitimate, perhaps, hissy fit this time. But anyway, but if you got it, just put your license number. your
Not if he
license-
owns a smartphone, he don't, and a Google account.
Well, I Googled it too, and I told him what I thought it was, and he found the printed
Yeah.
regulation that
All right.
confirmed it. But the printed regulation or the Google result is still incorrect.
All right, so now you can tie off your thread.
tie it off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait, before you do that,
What are we doing with the
we're gonna
legs?
put the thread back on to tie the legs on?
No,
We're not?
We're just
No.
gonna glue them on.
So go ahead and tie it off.
yep, tie it
All
off.
right.
I'm just showing you how the man,
All right,
Did it.
I'm gonna believe you, I'm gonna believe you, I'm
The
gonna believe you.
Merkin man.
the Merkin man, I'm telling you how the Merkin man did it.
I'm gonna believe you.
And now,
I trust you, Sydney.
to trim, what he would do is take the fly, and since he wanted it to be kind of elongated, he would actually use his thumb, put his thumb on it like that, and then just trim around the edge of his thumb.
What if you
Oh,
have
there
thin
you
thumb?
go.
You have thick thumb for this one, huh?
No,
Yeah,
he,
he
he,
probably
didn't.
tied
He
it
didn't
small.
like them. No, he didn't like them very big. He wanted them to be
Yeah.
very.
But we're tying
Get enough
kind of
of
a
that
bigger
fuzz
hook.
out.
Yeah.
the way he
Eye
uses.
is
I don't know what kind of small thumb you got.
Well, he probably
Looking
uses
at
a
the
smaller
fish.
hook for permit.
and tempting the fish.
I like them because
So
they
you,
can.
the thumb
They know
towards
where his
the
head
claws or the tip of the thumb towards the hook eye?
Just, I mean, you're making it kind of oval looking. You know,
Yeah, kind of just round it into a roll
crabbish.
disc. They can be good. good for redfish because I don't know. Sometimes the way they land, even being heavy, like just the surface area, kind of, I don't know. If they're being real spooky, it won't give quite as big of a splash. It's just like a big heavy clouser or something.
Pretty good weight. Sink all that to the bottom.
That's a big lead. That's a heavy piece.
Yeah, but it's-
But like I said, the stuff, it's like it kind of sinks slow because it's like a
That's-
sail or a parachute
Right.
under water.
When I tie a clouser, if I want it to be heavy, that's the size I use.
Mm-hmm.
The others are smaller than them.
Yeah,
But you want this on the bottom.
yes you do. That's where he's gonna be looking for the crab.
Put that on the bottom. That's a cool looking fly though. So far. We ain't even finished yet.
All right. So kind of looking like that.
This side over here is getting quiet.
How small did you
I
make?
think they're
Where is
looking
it?
pretty sharp.
Alright,
And now
One smaller, Brian?
we're gonna
Oh,
take
no, I was bigger. I didn't
the
match
crab and put it the other way in the vise. So you can tie on what would be the, what did I call it?
What
The
is-
top.
Is carapace?
So yes, up here. And then what you're gonna do is, you're gonna take these legs, you're gonna cut them in half, so then you have more legs.
Your drawing looks like you tied knots in the legs.
no, we didn't get any legs.
I think the pincher.
We're gonna do that?
That's exactly how he ties them on.
This must have been.
So then what you're gonna do
We
is,
did get legs.
I don't ever do that.
you're gonna take,
You cut
these-
these in half.
yeah, and then you're gonna take this little leg, work it through to the
Overhand knot, maybe.
to the shank of the hook, and put an overhand knot in it.
Ah. And so you should have 4 sections to do that with.
Yep,
Okay.
you should have 4, because you cut them in half, you should have 4 of them. You're gonna tie the knot right at the middle of each one of them. And,
Alright.
it's a little bit easier
So you
Then
did,
it-
you did a double.
a full overhand knot, so the initial, right?
Okay.
And it's a little bit easier to do it this way than kind of get thread wraps on the legs while that
Yeah.
EP fiber is kind of in the way.
And let's see. Okay, yeah. The knot will be kind of on the
On
the
in-
like
yeah,
hook up
inside, yes,
side.
correct.
Okay.
And you can use your bodkin to kind of, when you're, to get the fibers out of the middle of the loop. Or if you have a little brush, that works as well too. And part of when he said that kind of makes the legs sit, when it sits on the bottom, makes those legs sit on top and gives it a little more action.
Yeah, they're not trapped in the Merkin.
Right.
Their names you could have gone.
Well, I mean, that's what it looks like, a little furry,
Yeah.
you know, at the
Something
time.
Merkin diagram.
setup.
Just the front, so
And
we're doing
then,
another piece of rubber for the pinchers.
no, I'll show you what we're gonna
Okay,
do for the
so should we
pinchers.
do like the first set of legs all the way behind, like at the front behind the eyes, or just in the middle of it all, like the rest of them?
Yeah, just in the middle. I didn't.
Okay.
That's what I use. That's where I just gonna have been putting it. So. And then, let's see if I have.
Want to do another leg? Kitchen leg.
Okay, that'd be great. Cause I might break another one.
Need more legs.
Yeah.
I
More
brought
need
one.
legs.
Trying to be tight, put it tight. You know, snug it too tight.
And then grab them all together and just pass the EP fiber. Put a little bit of a.
Scared to eat a crab leg.
There's a looks like. And then the last thing you're gonna do is you'll come into these feathers and go and nip right at the stem, and it'll leave a little feather, a little triangle in the feather that looks like a claw. If you really want to. You can actually kind of splay the feathers to help you get that.
That's a bright little light. You can see everything going on. I like when the eyes stick out by themselves, man. That tells them where the head is.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone has some little difference.
Yeah.
You can tell the different handiwork.
Different style, yeah.
Come a long way from a bear hug, haven't we?
And like I said, you put a little stripe on your legs, and they can stay this longest. All right.
My leg's pretty wonky, but not bad.
So try not to stretch them when you do it.
Yeah.
'Cause otherwise
just the
it's-
marker,
yeah.
it'll just be in one tiny little spot. Yeah.
Let's see if we do the claws. Essentially, you're cutting the middle out of that little the feather, right? See, to make it look like a claw.
Right, I remember that from the other crab we did way back when. Which was, not much different than this, right?
Yeah.
And you cut the legs just pretty long, or just
You
past
can-
the fiber?
Yeah, just pass the pass you a little red. You put a little red mark,
Okay.
and then put it just past that. All right, any questions?
The real deal is, who's got the answers? Anyway.
I have a question. Did we do the claws yet?
Yes, we did. But, okay, look, the easiest way to do it,
Oh wait, not the back claws. I thought you were doing like a
Nope,
front
nope,
rubber leg with
nope,
tied
nope.
knots.
Nope,
Oh, okay.
those are the claws right there.
Oh, all right. I kept waiting for something
we
that
tied,
wasn't happening.
didn't you tie one the other night?
Yes, I did. I thought, well,
We
thought
did.
maybe you had like a new and improved version.
No, actually, studies show that fish don't like the crabs or crawfish with their
The full claw.
claws
Yeah.
splayed. That they actually take those less.
So you're telling us not to trim them?
No, that's not what I'm saying. In other words, people always want to put like the raised claws on the lures, on the flies, or on your lures. But studies show that the fish are less likely to strike if the crawfish or crab or whatever is like this. And so if your fly does like that, they're less likely to take it. Not that they never will, but